45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And 345 Equipment, quality machinery, parts, and repair services for all of your construction equipment needs. Call 525-0021 or email info@345equipment.ky.
And now, Radio Cayman presents The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter. Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. Here's your host, ANITA Khan.
Good morning and welcome to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. It's 28 minutes until 8 o'clock. It is Tuesday, November 15th. We're halfway through the month of November. And today on the Business Buzz, we have two segments. On the first segment, we learn about the upcoming workshop. It's titled Buttercream Basics and Cupcake Decorating. The workshop is being put on by the CEO of Sweet Tooth Moist Cakes and Custom Cake Designer, Miss Kamisha Clark. On the second segment this morning, we will hear about the AI Forum, their annual conference that is coming up on November 28th at the Grand Cayman Marriott Beach Resort. And don't forget, today is what? Today is Taco Tuesday here on The Buzz. Taco Tuesday, we have an exciting offer for all our listeners each Tuesday on The Business Buzz. And we are giving away a gift certificate to Tuka Restaurant and Bar every Tuesday morning. All you have to do is listen to the trivia question and be the lucky caller with a correct answer when we pick our winner right after the 8 a.m. news segment around 8:15 or so this morning. One winner will receive a gift certificate to Tuka Restaurant that can be used at either location in East End or West Bay. They're both my favorite, East End as well as West Bay. Now you can use them any day, not just on Taco Tuesdays. So you don't want to miss out on the 2-for-1 taco and margarita special. That's on all day at both locations. They have featured their specialty tacos like peanut chicken, blackened fish, pulled pork, vegetarian, and coconut shrimp. That's what's going on at Tuka today. So I'm going to give you the trivia question, but please do not call now. This is just to give you the opportunity so that you can think about your answer and then call around 8:15. DJ Silver Fox is in the studio. Good morning, DJ Silver Fox. He's ready to take your call. Susan is on vacation. So, are you ready for your trivia question? The trivia question is, which country are tacos said to originate from? I'll have that trivia question again later on this morning, so stay tuned in. Call us after the news, not now, after the news, with your answer on 1-800-534-8255 or 949-8037, or there's an additional number, 949-6990. Now, it's Taco Tuesday, but we've got our guest, our first segment guest. She's not in the studio. She's joining us via the phone lines, Miss Kamisha Clark. Good morning, Kamisha.
Hi, good morning.
Glad to have you with us. So you're not in the studio with me?
That's okay. I'll definitely make my presence still be felt through my voice.
Okay, that's good. Kamisha, it's been a while since we had you in the studio. We're still talking about that cupcake, or those cupcakes that you brought for us, I think it was last year. The
talk of the island.
The cupcakes just melted in the mouth. Now, Kamisha, you have hosted workshops in the past, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And you are about to host another workshop.
Yes, more on the creative side of things, using baking. In other words, as the lead this time.
Okay.
So the past workshops were customer service workshops, free customer service workshops to help others to improve their customer service skills.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm more coming from the side of where I specialize with the baking and the decorating of custom cakes. So this one is going to be more, it's still going to be fun, but it's going to be more on the creative side. and delicious side, because you're going to also get to eat what you create.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, what is the main aim of the workshop? Now, this is, okay, besides being the creative side, bringing out your creative side, which I don't have. So, what is the main aim of the workshop?
Okay, so my main aim, one, is to help people to network. Two, to see where it's good to invest into themselves to learn to do something better. And three, with the constant rising of, like, you know, with inflation and stuff going on in the world, I feel like it's good that you're able to find other streams of income. So, for example, if you are a hobby baker, you know, you could use that as a means of income to help to substitute, you know, where you're falling short. So it's something that you can definitely take and start to hone and make a stream of income from it. And I'm going to definitely be sharing with the people who do come to the workshop, you know, how I started and some of the strategies and things that I have done to get into the stores that I have, and what I've done as well to be consistent, because it really takes consistency as well. But
No, go ahead.
There definitely is a payoff in it. Like, if you're great at something, we all are great at something. It is something that you can then turn over to be able to produce for yourself, but you just have to have the mindset to do so.
Now, you have your small business, which is a sweet tooth moist cake.
Yes.
Now, it's amazing that as a small business owner, you are willing to and don't feel threatened to educate the public, you know, about how they can, you know, start up, say, looking for another source of income and stuff like that. You don't feel threatened. That is amazing. Because some people would feel threatened. Why would I want to educate somebody else about, you know, about cupcakes and all, decorating and all that, when, you know, I'm in the business?
There's room for us all.
I agree.
I believe that there's room for everyone. And I also believe that when you become good at something, that you should share what you learn with other people who are also equally interested in the things that you are. Because I become better when you become better. I'm going to be happier when you're happier, right? So I believe as well that we have, oh my God, Cayman has a lot of amazing bakers, right? And I don't feel threatened by any of them, because there's no one who will be able to do my work the way I do, just as much as no one will be able to do their work the way that they do. So I could more learn from them more than feel like, oh my God, no, I don't want to put my tips and tricks out there so that they can see them. Like, no, you know, we're supposed to share. We're supposed to help one another to grow and to build, because once again, there's room for everybody.
I absolutely agree with you, Kamisha. Absolutely agree. Now, how many people can you accommodate in this workshop? And who is it geared towards?
Okay. So the workshop can accommodate anywhere from 15 to 20 people.
Okay.
Because it's being held at the TE Matfield Community Center, which is directly in front of Georgetown Primary School. The workshop is tailored towards, mainly it's really towards like the adults, but I feel like the kids definitely have a very soft spot for these kind of things. And even on a Saturday, you know, parents are looking for something for their kids to do. Nonetheless, it is open from children from 8 years old and up.
Okay.
So kids are welcome anywhere from 8 up to adults.
Okay. Have you ever thought about, like, you know, guys, we have, well, Christmas is coming up, but we have, say, Valentine's next year, having a workshop for men to come in and learn how to, you know, to do some cupcake decorating and some basics.
They're welcomed as well. It's not just for females. You know, the doors are definitely open to males and females.
Okay. You know,
right?
Women love cupcakes or love cakes. And the men can please their women. Hello. The question is, do we have those type of men here on island? Like, I do know that there's someone who does cheesecakes. Actually, you know, I do know someone who does cakes as well. But to say, like, if I know 10 to 15 men right now who would actually be like, yeah, I'm coming to your cupcake decorating workshop, it's sort of no.
Like, I would more get them buying a cake for their spouse and stuff like that, which is awesome. But the workshop part, I'll put it out there. They're welcomed. They're welcomed. But I know my females are going to be coming through for sure.
All right, let's see. Next time we have a conversation, let's see if the man showed up. All right. Now the venue is, they said, T.E. Macphail Youth and Community Center. And what time does the workshop start? It's a one-day event, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
it is a one-day event. Starting off with just doing maybe one per month, and then build the traction from there. It is this Saturday, just to put that out there for everyone. Saturday, and we're starting at 7 p.m. sharp.
Okay.
It is estimated to be about 2 hours,
Okay.
so from 7 to 9 p.m. And I'll also have refreshments and some beverages for you to make sure that everyone is very comfortable.
Now, let's talk about some of the key areas that will be taught as part of this buttercream basics and cupcake workshop.
Okay. So the buttercream basics is where I'll be introducing people to what is buttercream, what is it made of. There are different types of buttercreams out there as well, like Swiss meringue and the American buttercream. I prefer to use the American buttercream. I find that to be the easiest and one of the most delicious buttercream. In addition to that, because of how hot our island is, I find that it's a lot more stable than the other ones. So I want to just briefly walk our participants through, the different types of buttercream and also teach them how to make their own buttercream. So they are going to be making their own buttercream. All the tools are going to be provided that they need, so they just need to come with a willing spirit to learn and to have fun. They're also going to learn how to place the buttercream into the piping bags. We're going to have the tips in the bag, show them how to put the tips in the bags, and pretty much just prepare their bag to their piping bag. Coloring it as well. They can choose their colors that they'd like to color their buttercream to decorate their cupcakes, and pretty much giving them that one-on-one attention, or group attention, I should say, to guide them through the complete process. Whatever they create on that day, they're also going to be taking that away with them. So if they decorate the 1 dozen cupcakes, they're taking away those 1 dozen cupcakes.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're killing me here.
Don't leave empty-handed.
That's right. Now, Kamisha, so how interactive will this workshop be? Would there be baking, or you'll have pieces already baked?
So there will be no bacon as yet.
Okay.
As yet. There'll be no bacon as yet. The cupcakes are going to be freshly baked that day by myself, and I'll carry those to the venue. And everything else that we would need, like our butter, sugar, or heavy cream, I'll have those items there for the participants. And we will then, as a group, make the buttercream, decorate together, show them how to do proper placements. There's going to be sprinkles there that they can decorate with, other edible stuff that they can decorate with. So it's a great time to, one, come and meet people, to get the opportunity to get, some guidance from myself that has 3 years experience. And I'm doing some fabulous work. Let me just pat myself on the back for a moment. Fabulous work, And I just want to be able to give them the encouragement that I didn't exactly have when I was starting out, and also to help them to see where their skill has a lot of value, to not just push it under the rug and see it as just, to really see where it has a lot of potential.
What is the cost to attend?
The cost to attend is $90, and that includes your refreshments and beverages and all the tools and supplies that you will need, and inclusive of you taking away your 1 dozen decorated cupcakes.
Oh my gosh. I just love your cupcakes, I have to tell you.
Thank you.
No, is there a deadline to sign up, Kamisha?
Sorry?
Is there a deadline to sign up?
Well, to be honest, the deadline was actually yesterday.
Okay.
But I realized that was a holiday. So I am going to be extending the deadline until tomorrow. And the way for people to register is they can just send an email to me directly at sweettoothmoistcakes@gmail.com. You will then receive your registration form, and you can fill that out, send that back to me, and then we accept payment, whether it's debit or credit card, and also online transfers.
Okay. You have a telephone number?
Yes, it is 329-5525. Feel free to call me or send me a WhatsApp message. Either one, I am very, very responsive. And what I'd like to also put out there is that for the TE Mac field, some of the proceeds from this workshop is going to be donated there to be able to purchase a new stove, because they definitely can use a new stove.
Mm-hmm.
So do know that, when you support this workshop, you're also supporting a much bigger cause as well. Then that will put us in the opportunity, in the place to be able to host actual baking sessions with people who actually want to bake, and do buttercream decorating as well.
Excellent. Kamisha, we're going to ask you to hold the line for us while we take a commercial break. Ms. Kamisha Clark, CEO of Sweet Tooth Moist Cakes and Custom Cake Designer. And she'll be hosting a workshop. We'll hear a little bit more about that when we come back from the break. But just a reminder that if you have missed the announcement for our Taco Tuesday giveaway at Tuka, don't forget. Call us around 8:15 with the correct answer, and we'll hook you up with that gift certificate to Tuka Restaurant and Bar. So it's Tuka Thursday. You ready for that trivia? Well, the trivia is, which country are tacos said to originate from? Don't call now. Please don't call now. You'll have an opportunity to call around 8:15 this morning. Thanks to our sponsors of the Business Buzz, Cayman Insurance Center, Cayman Medical Supplies, and 345 Equipment Services.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas.
Captain Rael Brazeley Bodden, Sr., MBE, JP, was born in 1885 and died at age 91 in 1976. He was best known as a shipwright who used his marine architectural skills to construct prominent historical landmarks on Grand Cayman. In so doing, Mr. Bodden carried on the tradition of his father and grandfather. In 1971, Captain Rael was recognized of his development contributions by being asked to lay the cornerstone for the Legislative Assembly building. Captain Rael built many ships, including the well-known Simboko, the Lady Slater, launched in 1934 as sister ship of the Simboko, old-time schooners, and 2 minesweepers for the Royal British Navy. The Simboko was constructed in 1927 and was the first locally built motorized ship in Cayman. For 20 years, she was Cayman's connection to the world, carrying freight, passengers, and mail between Grand Cayman and the sister islands, Jamaica and the United States. Captain Rael held the office of Admeasure of Shipping for over 45 years. He was appointed a Justice of the Peace in 1928 and served in the Assembly of Justices and Vestry. Captain Rael was married to Miss Hetty, nee Bodden, for 63 years. Together, they raised 5 children and were the proud grandparents of 22 grandchildren, many great-grandchildren, and great-great-grandchildren. He received his MBE in 1941, Her Majesty the Queen's Badge in 1954. In 2008, the Central Planning Authority celebrated the contributions of Captain Rael Bodden for his outstanding contributions to planning.
The Rotary Central Music Extravaganza is Saturday, November 26th. Your ticket, your chance, your prize. Grand prize, $40,000. Second prize, $4,000. 6 $1,000 prizes and more. Get your $25 tickets now through Rotary Central members, Rotary Central ticket sellers, eventpro.ky, or WhatsApp Rotarian Annie Rose Scott in Cayman Brac at 916-7310. The Rotary Music Extravaganza at Salty's Grand Harbor. Performances by Heat, Fabulous 68, and CNB. November 26th, you can be the winner. Proceeds fund Rotary Central Community Projects. Rotary Central NPO number 232. Rotary, all the good you imagine.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
homeowners, protecting your family and property is crucial during the season, and you should always assess insurance needs long before a storm makes landfall. Most insurers won't issue policies when a storm is imminent. Cayman Insurance Center's team of professionals can help owners like you find the most comprehensive coverage and competitive rates. Call Michael Webster today at 925-5433 or Denise Brown at 814-7229. Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call Michael and Denise today at Cayman Insurance Center.
Now open on the sister island, Brack Medical Supplies. Everything from over-the-counter items to home care products such as wheelchairs, crutches, bed pads, adult briefs, and PPE items. Friendly, local, loyal, and long-standing service right in the Brack. Brack Medical Supplies. Call today at 948-2228. Better yet, come see us. We are located right next to the Alexander Hotel.
Business Buzz. Anita Khan.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz. Good morning if you're just joining us. Thank you so much for doing so. Thanks to our sponsors of the Buzz this morning, Cayman Insurance Center, Cayman Medical Supplies, and 345 Equipment Services. We have holding on the telephone line Miss Kamisha Clark. Kamisha is the CEO of Sweet Tooth Moist Cakes and Custom Cake Designer, and she's also a distributor of cake decorations and tools for those hobby and professional bakers. Kamisha?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you for holding the line. Kamisha, I want to learn more about buttercream. I mean, buttercream is not something we sit and think about, but it's something we enjoy eating. How long does it take to make buttercream?
You can take anywhere from 5 to say 10 minutes to make buttercream. It just depends on the type that you are making. To be quite open and honest, American buttercream, if you're really in a rush, you can whip that up in 5 to 6 minutes.
What are the main ingredients in buttercream?
So preferably unsalted butter, because if you use salted butter, it's gonna make the frosting taste salty. So it's definitely unsalted butter. There is confection sugar, a little bit of vanilla, some heavy cream. That's my preference. And that's it. A tad bit of salt, maybe a half teaspoon or so of salt.
Okay. Now, what is basic buttercream used for besides cupcake?
So, well, it's mainly used in the caking industry. It's either used as a filling to decorate the cake, to completely cover the cake. People use it on cookies. It can be used to make like these lollipop things. So it's really more definitely used in the cakery side of things.
Okay. Now, I mean, can you use it for, say, something as like a wedding cake?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. We use those to make wedding cakes, birthday cakes, any type of cake.
Okay.
Realistically, you, as mentioned, you can use it to decorate cookies, decorate cupcakes. It's literally like the coverage for all cakes.
Okay, coverage for
either that or fondant.
Fondant,
right?
Either that or fondant. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. That's something I hate. That's a strong word. I despise fondant. I mean, it's not even edible as far as I'm concerned.
It is, because some are made of marshmallows and stuff, but a lot of people really use it because of the flexibility that it gives with decorating cakes. A lot of cake decorations can still be achieved using buttercream, and that's why I specialize in buttercream, because I prefer to know that clients are able to eat and enjoy everything that's there on that cake platter. To just see someone kind of peel it apart.
That's what I do.
And throw that away. It's kind of like, oh my God. But, for maximum enjoyment, I prefer to serve my clients buttercream cake. Buttercream.
And I have to sing your praises again. Your butter. You brought some buttercream.
Melt in your mouth.
It just melted in the mouth. Susan and I still talk about that.
Yes, not too sweet, nice and silky. Because, to each their own. Everyone has their way to make their buttercream. But my buttercream is something that I get told that, like, they could just sit and eat a tub of it. I do not recommend that. But it's something that they feel like, oh, my God, it's like ice cream. Which is a huge compliment.
Does buttercream have eggs in it?
Eggs? No.
No,
not the American buttercream, but some buttercreams that you use, like the Swiss meringue and other ones, they do use like either the egg white or the egg yolk.
So vegans can eat this?
Stay away from those.
Vegans can partake in
yes, vegans can, because there's dairy-free butter options out there. Instead of using like, for example, if I was doing a vegan buttercream, instead of using the heavy cream, I would add maybe, say, coconut milk. Okay. To kind of add a little bit of that creamy element in there. Okay. But vegans can definitely still enjoy buttercream and cake, for sure.
How therapeutic can bacon be, Kamisha?
Well, for me, it is, how can I put this? It's no longer therapeutic for me, because it's a source of income. It's something that I still enjoy doing. But for me, the most therapeutic part right now is actually the decorating. If I was to really choose a therapeutic part, it's like being able to like decorate the cake, ideally in peace, without the crying from my baby girl and stuff. But I still get a great job done. But the therapeutic part is really like in the decorating part, pushing yourself to see how creative you can be, maybe trying a new technique, so it really shows you what you are capable of.
Okay, so we're looking forward to the workshop, but in the meantime, where are your cupcakes available, and what occasions do you cater for?
Okay, so our cupcakes are cakes in general, so there's quite a bit. So our daily menu is available on my it's posted to my Instagram page and TikTok. Our Instagram page is Sweet Tooth Moist Cakes. Our website for booking a custom designer cake and also seeing a lot of the beautiful cakes that we have done for the past 3 years is on our website, which is www.sweettoothmoistcake.com. Our products are stocked at the Barcan gas station. We have caramel top cakes there and also mini cupcakes. There's caramel top cakes at the Lorna's Rubis in Boddingtown. There's caramel top cakes at the Walkers Road Rubis in town. The convenience store in West Bay by the four-way stop also offers our caramel cakes. And our full menu is available on the Bento app.
Kamisha,
Bento.
It's been a pleasure having you with us this morning on the first segment of the Business Buzz. I believe you'll be back on the 29th to talk about another workshop entitled Jolly Christmas Cupcake Decorating. So we look forward to that. And when you come into the studio, hopefully you'll be in the studio, we'll talk about, and you'll give us an update on Becoming an Astonishing Masterpiece, your book.
Yes. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Kamisha. Have a wonderful day. Thanks to our listeners and our viewers for joining us this morning in Business Buzz. We're going to take a quick break to bring you the news, the 8 o'clock news, weather, and we've got traffic. But in the meantime, before we do that, remind you today is Taco Tuesday. And right after the 8 o'clock news, we are giving away that gift certificate to Tuka Restaurant as they celebrate their Taco Tuesday special, 2-for-1 tacos and margaritas all day long, both locations, East End and West Bay. Then we give you that trivia, so you can call in and at about 8:15 with the correct answer. Trivia question is, which country are tacos set to originate from? You had enough time to think about it, okay? So you can call us after the news at 1-800-534-8255 or 949-8037 or 949-6990.
Radio Cayman time check now 8 a.m. This time check brought to you by our friends at Foster's.
Feast Mode Active. activated.
There's always room at the family table, and Foster's is there to keep everyone fed.
With incredible new recipes and familiar classics, we have everything needed to cater any family feast.
Roast turkeys, holiday hams, fall-off-the-bone pork shoulder. Not to mention cheesy mac and cheese, scallop potatoes, pumpkin or pecan pie. There's a lot to be thankful for this year.
Have a thankfully hassle-free Thanksgiving and order yours online at fosters.ky. Fosters, better because we care.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman-Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Island.
With your latest news, I'm April Cummings. The Judicial Committee of the Privy Council sits in the Cayman Islands this week. It is the first time the JCPC will have sat in an overseas territory of the United Kingdom. Radio Cayman's Carsley Fuller has more.
The Judicial Committee of the Privy Council is the highest court of appeal for many Commonwealth countries, as well as the United Kingdom's overseas territories, crown dependencies, and military sovereign base areas. This includes the Cayman Islands. As a prelude to the hearings this morning, a formal opening ceremony is planned at Grand Court 1 at the Halls of Justice main court building. The ceremony will be preceded by the inspection of the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, Guard of Honor by the President of the JCPC, the Right Honorable the Lord Reed Allimure at 9 a.m. Cayman time, in front of the halls of the Justice main court building. Among the dignitaries expected to attend, Chief Justice the Honorable Margaret Ramsey Hale and the recently retired Chief Justice Sir Anthony Smellie. In welcoming the 5 JCPC justices at the opening ceremony, you can also expect His Excellency the Governor Martin Roper, the Premier the Honorable Wayne Panton, the Deputy Premier the Honorable Chris Saunders, and the Attorney General the Honorable Sam Bulgin Casey, head of the Cayman Bar. The official party will be complemented by other members of Cayman's judiciary and the legal community. Reporting for Radio Cayman News, I'm Carsley Fuller.
Among the cases to be heard by the JCPC, Justin Ramoon appellant versus the Governor of the Cayman Islands respondent, Family Mart China Holding Co. Limited respondent versus Ting Chuan Cayman Islands Holding Corporation, and HEB Enterprises Limited and another versus Bernice Richards as personal representative of the estate of Anthony Richards, deceased. 2 armed robberies and an attempted robbery are under investigation this morning. Around 7:45 p.m. Friday evening, police received a report that someone broke the glass doors of Uncle Clem's grocery store on Mary Street. The occupants of the store ran through the rear door and one person fell trying to get away from the incident, sustaining minor injuries. The investigation revealed that 2 masked men dressed in hoodies, one armed with a machete and the other with an axe, entered the premises and stole money from the cash register. A second incident took place just before 7:50 p.m. It was reported a delivery driver was leaving Diaz Lane after making a delivery when someone banged on his car window. The driver looked up and saw 2 masked men, one with an axe, who started banging on the vehicle. As a result, he sped off from the location. Nothing was stolen and no injuries caused. However, the vehicle sustained minor damage. Then after 8:20 p.m., police received a report of an armed robbery at a retailer on Shedden Road. 2 men wearing dark-colored clothing and hoodies went into the store, brandished a firearm, and demanded money, assaulting the storekeeper. The men left with cash in an unknown direction. All 3 of these incidents are under investigation by police, and detectives are encouraging anyone with information to call the Georgetown Police Station. That number is 949-4222. Alternatively, anonymous tips can be provided directly to police on line at 949-7777 or online at rcips.ky. This week is Global Entrepreneurship Week, and the Cayman Islands Center for Business Development is hosting several events. On Wednesday, November 16th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Government Administration Building, you can learn how to enhance your procurement experience with government. Also on the agenda this week, a wellness and networking event scheduled for Friday, the 18th, at the Wharf Restaurant. The wellness event is scheduled for 4 to 6 p.m., and the networking event from 6 to 9 p.m. To register for the workshop or RSVP for the wellness and networking event, call 244-8009 or email cicbd@gov.ky. That is your local news. Now to the BBC for stories making headlines around the world. I'm April Cummings.
BBC News with Emily Thomas. Leaders at the G20 summit in Indonesia have disagreed over a draft resolution condemning Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Most are understood to support the document, which says the war is causing immense human suffering and exacerbating existing fragilities in the global economy. Russia has accused Western countries of trying to politicize the communiqué. The UN says it's documented evidence of torture and ill treatment of prisoners of war by both Russian and Ukrainian forces. The vast majority of Ukrainian prisoners reported abuse, which included prolonged beatings, dog attacks, electrocutions, and being stripped and threatened with mock executions or sexual violence. But there were also credible allegations of summary executions by Ukrainian forces and several reported cases of torture of Russian prisoners. The G20 summit has seen the full return of the Chinese leader Xi Jinping to the international stage. He discussed strained relations between China and Australia with its Prime Minister, following an earlier meeting with the French President on the need for a global agreement on dealing with the debts of vulnerable countries. Turkey says nearly 900 of its security forces are taking part in an operation against Kurdish militants in the east. The authorities say they've seized weapons and ammunition and destroyed PKK hideouts. Residents in the southern Chinese city of Guangzhou have escaped a compulsory coronavirus lockdown and clashed with police. Videos show people overturning a police vehicle and marching down the streets. Kenya's former President Uhuru Kenyatta is visiting eastern Congo to assess the security situation. He's meeting people in the regional capital Goma who fled the fighting between government troops and M23 rebels. Climate activists in Vienna have thrown a black oily liquid over a painting by Gustav Klimt. Videos online showed a man emptying the fluid over the picture Death and Life, which hangs in the Leopold Museum. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Boddentown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Boddentown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Good morning, everyone. Hello? Hello? Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Okay, I see we have just about everyone, and of course Tom drops off, as per usual. Let's just wait a minute here. He always comes right back, and we're almost ready, and... oh, whoever's dog that is, please go on mute. Why won't it let me share my screen? Okay, looks like we're ready to start.
We're like a video conference with no technical issues. CG Britcay. Good like that.
Good morning, Cayman. Let's take a look at your latest weather. Compliments of our friends at CG Britcay. Present temperature 81 degrees Fahrenheit, but it feels like about 91. Winds are out of the east at 7 miles per hour. Relative humidity 87%. Barometric pressure still at 29.97 inches and falling. Moderate winds and slight seas will continue across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours as a high-pressure system builds over the northeastern U.S. So our forecast for today, partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of morning showers. Temperatures will rise to the upper 80s. Winds will be east to northeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet.
Later tonight, partly cloudy skies, 20% chance of showers. Temperatures will fall to the mid-70s. Winds will be east to northeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Low tide is coming up in the next 30 minutes or so at 8:46. It's going to be high at 4:08 this afternoon. For tomorrow, low tide will be at 4:40 a.m., high at 10:02 a.m., and low at 4:51 p.m. Sunset is at 5:45. Sunrise for Wednesday morning at 6:34. The outlook is for similar weather conditions through Thursday morning. That's your latest weather.
The 8:12 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Head east on Cove Road. Sharp left on Church Street. Sharper left. No, your other left. Did I say left? Nope, you missed it. Okay, I'm lost.
With money-saving bundling options for home and motor, we're like a GPS that doesn't steer you wrong. CG Britcay. Good like that.
Let's stop and ask for directions.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
And once again, let's take a look at your latest traffic, courtesy of our friends at Subway. Both streets in Georgetown getting busy at the moment. Shannon Road so far, not too bad, clear in the vicinity of the First Caribbean Bank. And of course, if you're heading out to Seafarers Way, expect some light traffic in that area. Remember, no cruise ships in today, so not much pedestrian movements. Of course, if you're coming out of the eastern districts, looking down at the east-west arterial, traffic is flowing smoothly. But looking down from Kingsport Center, we have some congestion along the Linford-Pearson Highway. So if you're going through South Sound, turning up Walker's Road, is some free flow of traffic until nearing to the schools area. You'll experience some traffic there. Similar along South Church Street, leading into Seafarers Way. West Bay Road traffic flowing into Georgetown, similar, some stop-and-go instances. And of course, Crew Road, you have some traffic as well as you make your way into the Georgetown area. Cayman Braga, Little Cayman, light traffic. And of course, the traffic in the Grand Cayman area will ease up by about 9 o'clock or so. And from then on, you should have some free flow traffic during the course of the day. Of course, be aware of those pedestrians, those on bicycles, scooters, motorbikes. Buckle up and stay safe. Your traffic report brought to you by our friends at Subway.
Subway makes it easy for you to stay on top of your health and wellness goals with our Fresh Fit menu options. Choose from 5 Fresh Fit Subway sandwiches with only 450 calories or less per 6-inch sub. Turkey breast, veggie, oven roasted chicken, black forest ham, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, or make your 6-inch Fresh Fit sub into a salad or wrap prepared with fresh vegetables. For a full menu and nutritional information, visit subway.ky. Subway, eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, ANITA Khan.
Good morning and welcome back to the Business Buzz. This is a second and final segment of the Buzz this morning. I'd like to say thank you to our sponsors, Cayman Insurance Center, Cayman Medical Supplies. Don't forget, Brack Medical Supplies now open in Cayman Brack, and also 345 Equipment Services. Thank you for your kind and proud sponsorship of the Business Buzz. Now, it's Taco Tuesday before we head to our second segment. And we give a trivia question. Which country are tacos set to originate? And Paul, do we have a caller? We have a caller on the line. Caller, good morning. Good morning.
Morning, Anita.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I am fine. Do you have an answer to our trivia this morning?
Yeah,
for Taco Tuesday? You do?
I believe so.
Okay, let's hear it.
originated from Mexico.
From Mexico. Yes, it sure did. Congratulations. And you've won yourself a gift certificate to Tuka Restaurant that can be used either in the beautiful district of East End or just as well. Beautiful. Before I get myself in trouble here, District of West Bay, Morgan's Harbor. So you know how to pick up your gift certificate from Radio Cayman, right?
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, congratulations. And who am I speaking with, Alice?
Charlene.
Oh, Miss Charlene. Okay, Miss Charlene. Well, thank you for calling us on Taco Tuesday, and you enjoy your meal whenever you get to the restaurant. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And don't forget to miss out on the 2-for-1 taco and margarita special on all day at both locations at Tuka. You've got specialty tacos, making me hungry here, peanut chicken, blackened fish, there's pulled pork, vegetarian, and also coconut shrimp. Thank you, Tuka, for coming on board with Taco Tuesday and making me hungry. Now let's turn our attention to our second segment and our important guest in the studio this morning. We have we're talking about AI Forum, their annual conference, and I get to understand that this is the first conference being held in the Cayman Islands. And in the studio joining me this morning, I have Mr. Ian Gilmore. Mr. Gilmore is the managing director of Euler Digital SEZC, and he's also the chair of the advisory board for AI Forum. And he's joined by Mr. Robert Robertson. He's a brand new president of UCCI. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Morning.
It's a pleasure to have you both in the studio with me this morning. And I plan on learning quite a lot. Even now on the break, Paul, DJ Silver Fox, I've learned so much about AI. I think you would have liked to be in the room because you're that kind of guy. Now, what topics will be discussed at the forum?
So we're opening with the minister. Andre Ebanks is going to be talking about the role of AI in the Cayman economy and the opportunities it affords for Caymanian, whether they're resident or been here for a long time. They will lead into a forum about human rights. So one of the things we were discussing before we came on was how the Bill of Rights in the Cayman Islands is a competitive advantage when it comes to artificial intelligence, and that will be discussed by attorneys, economists, and we've also got Aditi Joshi, who's a senior executive at Google, who'll be moderating, and also a gentleman called John Chisholm, who's flying in from California. So that's a pretty exciting one. And then we get into a number of sessions about workforce of the future. Dr. Terry Horton, she's going to be talking from this is in Atlanta. We've got Utpal Mangla from IBM talking. He's going to be a virtual presentation on 5G and edge networks. So it's a bit technical, that one, but how it's going to disrupt industries. And then we go into education, financial services, and then we finish with we've flown in a gentleman called Rasmus Hegqvist, who's a really influential guy on TikTok, talking about AI and how that's going to influence future generations, particularly Gen Z and possibly even Gen A. And he'll finish it off, and I'm hoping we'll have some students from the Cayman Islands also participating on the panel to round it off.
Can I call you Ian?
Yes, please do.
And Mr. Robertson, can I call you Bob?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for permission. Now, Ian, let's talk about, for those who are listening and they hear AI, what exactly is AI? I know what it is, but let's for listeners.
So that's a really good question. So at one level, it's effectively an electronic representation of the human brain. Mm-hmm. So the neural networks and all this sort of stuff. But effectively, what AI will become in the future is two forms. There's narrow AI, where it performs a particular task, and then there's sort of generalized AI, which is the stuff that you see in science fiction movies, where it takes on its own sentient personality. That's way off. So we talk about narrow AI, and therefore AI's got a purpose, and some of those purposes are to be chatbots, some of those purposes are to work out from large amounts of data whether someone should get a loan, someone should get a job, things like that. So that's AI's really at this stage of its development is becoming more about automation.
An example that people might relate to, if I could, is the self-driving car. I mean, you see self-driving cars are coming faster and faster, and a lot of people are saying, I like to drive. I don't want a self-driving car, but we're all going to see them. In fact, in Florida, they're available. You can take a taxi in Tampa
Uber.
now that drives by itself. Now it's a fixed route, but it's already here. And so younger people in particular, as Ian was saying, really need to stay up with this technology because it will afford jobs, new jobs, jobs of the future. But you have to have the skills to be able to do that.
Like any job, you need skills.
Absolutely.
Now, Bob, you're the new president for UCCI.
Yes.
Not had a chance to congratulate you,
Thank you.
publicly.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
This is my first radio interview, by the way, in the Cayman Islands, so thank you.
Well, it's a privilege to have you sitting at the table across from me. Now, you are an event sponsor. We're going to go into sponsorship later on, but you're an event sponsor.
Yes.
You came on board. You only been here for this short time, and you just jumped on the bus.
Yes.
And how did you collaborate with Ian?
Well, the story behind that is kind of interesting. If I can even go back a bit further, before I met Ian, about 6 months ago, I was named a senior research fellow at the University of London in the School of Advanced Studies for work that I've done in the region, in the Caribbean region, on the future of work and digitization. So that is my area of interest. And last week we were invited to participate in a call with Ian, and that just resonated with me. That's absolutely where the Cayman in particular needs to be. I mean, the Cayman Islands economy is already predicated on serving the globe, and digitally is a very important aspect of that. I think UCCEI can play an increasingly important role in preparing young people to participate in that global economy, and I'm delighted to see this initiative. It is world-class. It's going to put the Cayman Islands in a different kind of category with respect to the future of jobs in this area for Cayman residents, as Ian has said. And we really need to, at UCCEI, step up, and the direction of the board is to become more aggressive in getting job-ready skills for young people. That's the whole emphasis of the university, and I think digitization is the way forward.
And my next question would be, who should attend this conference, Ian?
I'm still like basking in the glow of Bob's intellect. So yeah.
Sorry to break your.
Everybody should be there because we want it to be. So there's no maths. There is nobody's going to stand there and talk. I mean, some of the words might be a little bit bigger than normal, but generally it's designed to take anybody who's got an interest in the Cayman Islands and the future to come in and understand what this new industry is. The way I look at it is it's the start of a new industry. And why wouldn't you want to start educating yourself before it really kicks in? So this is a really good accelerator for knowledge. And the people that are coming in, Harvard Medical School, Google, Johnson & Johnson, the list goes on. So these are all really expert people. They're chosen, though, because they're good communicators. Yeah. And what Bob's doing as well is evangelizing the future from an educationalist point of view. I'm doing it as an entrepreneur. Yeah. And there's lots of entrepreneurs in Cayman. So they need to come, get skilled, and work out which parts of the global economy Cayman can, really take to market. And obviously financial services is always the one everybody talks about, but I'm sure that the entrepreneurs in this island are going to come up with lots of use cases where we can dominate globally in particular niche sectors.
Now, from all those speakers we're going to have at the conference, can you run through that list again, the panel? Google.
Just the panel?
Yeah.
So we've got Google, we've got Savannah Law, which is Vaughan Carter. We've got Julian Morris, who's an economist. I can't remember which, he's on so many different bodies, but I'll think of that later. Who's the other? John Chisholm, of John Chisholm Ventures. He's a very successful entrepreneur, so he has his own venture arm. So, but he's from the Santa Fe Institute and MIT.
Okay. So who put together this panel? You did?
So when we bought AI Forum back in February, we were very fortunate, and then we got an advisory board of some of the top people in AI across the world. And through that, we've been able to pull together some really interesting speakers. The actual panel itself is handpicked here locally. Aditi Josh is actually here on the Global Citizens Programme. So she's just like, it's just complete luck that we've got this top Google executive on our doorstep, and she's thoroughly inspirational. Working with her, and through, actually I need to give a shout out to Charlie Kirkconnell at Cayman Enterprise City. He's been instrumental in pulling this all together. in terms of just getting out the local network, and he's helped to bring in the human rights and the economic side, and then through Julian we got John. So that's a really sort of Cayman-based panel. Actually, it's really good.
Very nice, very nice. Now, why? This question is for Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Why is AI so important to UCCI? You did allude to some of it, but why?
It's important for a number of reasons. First of all, it's important to recognize that it's not, sort of brand new. So UCCEI is already recognized as a Cisco Academy, and it's only one or two in the Caribbean. So that's really important. Secondly, though, trends going forward really suggest that digitization, technology, and AI are the waves of the future. I was responsible for doing some surveys of employers in the Bahamas and in the Turks and Caicos over the last 2 or 3 years. And the leading skills gap is in the technology field in both of those countries. And I've done something similar in the U.S. and came up with the same results, not surprisingly. As Ian mentioned before the interview began, the top 3 or 4 jobs in the United States and globally currently are all in digital, in the digital field. So there are opportunities. And the exciting thing for a country like the Cayman Islands is you can work in China from here. You can work anywhere. I mean, I've taught courses in Vietnam from Florida, and senior managers taking online courses. Now it's just the start of sort of the AI in education is kind of falling behind a little bit in terms of where it should be with respect to AI, but you need the base skills first. So that Cisco Academy that UCCEI has already is an incredible starting point. It takes a while to get there. You need the trained faculty, staff, and students. So as I mentioned earlier, we're really going to ramp up our efforts to be one of the leading smart campuses in the region and then globally. And so this AI forum is spot on. It's exactly what we need as a way to start our initiative early in 2023.
Bob, UCCI will be happy to have you on board. I'm sure. I'm sure. Now, when is the a conference taking place, Ian?
28th of November. Okay. One-day event, jam-packed from early in the morning till pretty late in the afternoon, when I'm sure everybody will be pretty exhausted. But yeah, one-day event on 28th.
And it's taking place where?
The Marriott.
The Marriott. And the 28th of November. Now you have some event sponsors, correct?
We do. Mm-hmm. We're very lucky. We've got, obviously the ministry's got involved. DART very kindly put the hat in the ring. We're also working with, I'm going to have to go through the list now.
That's okay.
Yep. So we've got the Ministry of Financial Services, Cayman Enterprise City. Crikey, I'll be in real trouble if I forget those. So we've also got some. We've also got another local sponsor called Bellrock Group, which is a funds company up in West Bay. We've got, and then we've got Loop, who are helping us with some of the local media. A Canadian company called Sales Choice. Our event partner, UCCI, which just came in recently. And then the final company is a company called Nous, who are actually one of the big, they're actually based in Australia, Canada, and the UK, and they're specialists in higher education consulting.
Nous. What is the duration, what is the cost of the conference?
So with $500, I think that's 400 CI. That's a ticket at the door. There are some ways of participating. If particularly what I wanted to say on this call was that we're trying to get as many people as possible in the room. So we want everybody to have a chance to get there. So the other option is if people are on low incomes and things like that, then get in touch with us and we'll see if we can work out how to assist. And then we're also working with a sponsor. It hasn't done yet, but we're trying to get some sponsorship in for students. So get the university and the high school students funded as well. So get as many people in the room as possible to just help the minister to see how big this opportunity is.
I'm sure he'll be impressed. Now, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue our discussion with Mr. Ian Gilmore, who is the Marketing Director of Oil Digital SEZC, and he's also the Chair of the Advisory Board for AI Forum. As well in the room, we have the new President of UCCI, Mr. Robert Robertson. Thanks to our sponsors this morning, and also to Taco Tuesday, Tuca.
Homeowners, protecting your family and property is crucial during the season, and you should always assess insurance needs long before a storm makes landfall. Most insurers won't issue policies when a storm is imminent. Cayman Insurance Center's team of professionals can help owners like you find the most comprehensive coverage and competitive rates. Call Michael Webster today at 925-5433 or Denise Brown at 814-7229. Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call Michael and Denise today at Cayman Insurance Center.
Parma Carpet Christmas sale is back, starting 25 days before Christmas on Thursday, November 24th through Saturday, November 26th for a full 25 hours of savings with 25% off in stock carpet, 25% off in stock tiles, and 25% off in stock granite slabs. All orders should be collected within 25 hours or storage fees will apply.
See in store for terms and conditions.
Save big in Parma Carpet pre-Christmas sale, 25 days before Christmas from November 24th through November 26th. Located on 317 North Sound Road, Industrial Park. Open Monday to Friday, 7:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. and Saturday, 7:30 a.m. till 2 p.m. Call 949-5000.
We do a whole lot more than just cover your floor at Paramount Carpet.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
Pan in the city. Finally back to Grace Seafarer's Way, proudly sponsored by CUC. Pan in the City returns to showcase Cayman's steel pan talent with both young and adult bands, igniting some Caribbean rhythm. Thursday, November 17th, 6:30 to 8 p.m. on Seafarer's Way in Georgetown.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, ANITA Khan.
And that was a very short break. DJ Silver Fox almost caught me off guard. No, that didn't happen. If you're just joining us, you're listening to the Business Buzz. This is our second segment for this Tuesday morning. We had a nice long holiday weekend. 4-day weekend? Yep, 3-day weekend. Oh, I wish it was 4. But we commemorated Remembrance Day yesterday. Now, in the studio, we're talking about the upcoming AI Forum, the annual conference, and it's, of course, the inaugural conference, AI Forum. Now, in the studio, we have Mr. Ian Gilmore and Mr. Robert Robertson. I call them Ian and Bob, just for familiarity. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now we're talking. I hardly know anything about AI, or from just what I know. But AI goes much more than Siri on your iPhone. There's a whole lot more to that. Now, Ian, educate me this morning about AI. A whole lot more on how businesses can benefit from AI and individuals.
Yeah, so we'll take businesses first. So there's a lot of automation that you can use for using AI. But one of the things that I think actually individuals and businesses will benefit from is a real buzz word at the moment is generative AI. So generative AI is where you actually do something like text to video or text to art. So if anybody on the radio's heard of DALL-E 2, it's a technology that's quite cool. It's ingested. I think it's Google. It's probably someone else, but I think it was Google did it. I know it wasn't. It was another firm. And what they've done is they've created this huge database of art, and then using just 4 keywords and then a style, you can generate this art that's really an amazing sort of. My daughter did it recently, and she did actually our dog, one of our rescue dogs, and he ended up with a crown and also, and it was really fantastic picture, and it was done in different styles, like a Picasso or and so generative AI is quite cool. But the good thing about generative AI, unfortunately for educators, is also you can do voice to text, and you can do there's apps like Writer and there's this other big organisation called Jasper.ai, and you can actually generate essays and lots of content. So you can actually use this technology to help you to pull together what was historically you'd have to do like a whole essay and do your research. You can now talk about the Second World War. You can talk about the Civil War in the United States by just writing in or even typing in 10 keywords. It'll write an essay for you.
Is that cheating?
Well, this is where educators have got a real challenge, because as students go more online, they're also really switched on about shortcuts. So generative AI is actually it's fantastic, but it's also, you've got to keep ahead of it, because if you're in the classroom and you get 100, or let's say you get 30 essays, and you're thinking these are all really, really good, I wonder whether they actually wrote them. So generative AI is a form of automation. It's quite powerful. And it's really popular at the moment, and that benefits both individuals and businesses.
Is there more pressure for hobbies? Is there more pressure for faculty to weed out plagiarism?
Yeah, I mean, there are systems that weed out plagiarism fairly well, actually. I'm always in discussions with students who, have a high plagiarism score, and they argue with me that the technology is wrong, but that's not my experience so far. But it's disruptive innovation, and one of the things we hear about consistently is the extremely high cost of education. Technology is going to make sure that cost is capped or brought down. It'll make it more available to the masses, essentially. I mean, there's just so many elite schools in the US or in the UK or elsewhere. People just can't afford it. And so AI probably can have a disruptive innovation impact with respect to costs. Now, you have to be careful about making sure the student actually does the work, et cetera. But there are some positive sides to it. And I think that's the same with kind of any innovation that's occurred at any time in history. There's changes. It'll disrupt. It'll eliminate some jobs, but it'll create others if you have the right skill sets.
And businesses now, Ian.
Yeah, so if you think of healthcare, which is a growing industry in Cayman, the ability for a skilled physician to actually use AI to interpret radiography, other sort of forms of imagery, if you like. AI is becoming more accurate than experts. They call them false positive, false negatives. The technology is actually very measurable in terms of its success rate, and it will reduce false positives and false negatives, which is really good if you're dealing with something like oncology and areas like that. But what this technology does, which is the theme I think Bob and I want to get across on this call, is this is not coming for your jobs, right? What this does is it increases productivity. So if you've got a highly skilled person, such as a doctor, this tool can save up to 8, 9, 10% of their day in terms of just reading through documents, looking at scans, and gives them more time to talk to the patient and talk about, the treatments. So there's a really good example. You've got the same in pretty much every walk of life, insurance, financial services, a lot of data that sits in front of people when they're working with clients. AI can actually, if you like, assemble and interpret and recommend a lot of different strategies, if you like, for savings or for insurance policies based on the data, and reduce the amount of time that it takes to actually get to a decision. So there's lots of automations that can be used in pretty much any industry to actually either improve the outcome or reduce cost.
Is there any downside at all?
Yes, and that's a really
disadvantage.
So that's a really good point, because just before we went on air, we were talking about the Bill of Rights in the Cayman Islands, and we're talking about Cayman wants to be known for good AI, the good stuff. So the stuff that improves society, improves the lot for citizens. We don't want the stuff that discriminates. We don't want the stuff that creates a police state. So all the nasty stuff that you see with surveillance cameras in autocratic regimes, that's most definitely not going to come here in Cayman, because you've got the Bill of Rights. You've got laws that say you cannot be surveilled through any form of technology. But AI in particular, because it's so powerful, it is used by a lot of different regimes to either surveil or to discriminate against their populations. That will not be happening in this country. And it's also, I think, a positive aspect of Cayman's brand is that we're going to be doing the good AI.
The good AI. A good AI.
The other thing about that, by the way, is that you can't just sit on the sidelines, because globally countries are competitive. So other countries will pursue AI initiatives. So the Cayman has an opportunity to either sit on the sideline or jump in and be involved in it. But just from a competitiveness point of view, many countries are looking at, increasing their capacity to improve productivity. And that's pretty evident. I mean, you see that everywhere. Canada has an AI initiative that I'm familiar with, and other countries do as well. So the Cayman, under this type of forum that we're talking about, has the chance to get in early, which I think is really important. And also, as we talked at the break, it's really important to get this in early, like in high schools, for example, with a dual enrollment. And, some people say to me, that's probably not the right thing to do, but, just look around. Every kid has a mobile phone. And so that device is actually not a phone anymore. It's a device. And so you can actually get involved in AI using that. And so it's very important to make those connections, and then you can see the kinds of opportunities that Ian's talking about. And for a country like the Cayman, I think it's a natural, and I think it can really assist in terms of productivity and job creation, not job loss, over the next 5 to 10 years.
Now, for the AI forum, Ian, you're the chair of the advisory board, correct? Now, the board, who's sitting on that board?
Oh, well, so who's who of people around the world. So we've got pretty much most geographies, most sectors covered on our advisory board, whether it's automotive, we work with Qualcomm, for example. We've got lots of financial services, as you'd expect, so lots of different people from banks. We've actually, I forgot to say, we've got someone from Morgan Stanley coming over. Supreet Kaur's coming over. I've totally forgotten. She's just off the charts. She's actually just been awarded a special Women in Tech from Google, so she's flying over. We've got people, 40% of our advisory board / if you like, audience is in India. And that is a crucible of AI. It's one of the top economies when it comes to AI. They actually have, in India, they've actually introduced design thinking into the curriculum for all students.
Wow.
Yeah, all high school students.
And
that's a world's first.
And it's the largest country in the world in 2023. It'll surpass China in terms of population. So, they have more honors kids than the entire high school population of the United States, just based on numbers. It's incredible.
Yeah. So the advisory board for us is our brains trust, and we use it. We do a lot of research, and they moderate our research. So we're really blessed in that respect. And as I said, and also the really big issue in technology today is diversity. And I'm very lucky in that when we purchased the company, we actually came with a whole roster of really amazing female leaders in machine learning, and that's actually a really big issue in the industry because it's STEM, because it's science, it tends to be a bit male heavy, and that's another thing about the industry, is trying to make sure that the society is represented in the industry so that we don't get these biases that we have in society today.
Okay, I'll smile at that one. But we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue a discussion with Mr. Ian Gilmore. He's the Managing Director of Oil and Digital SEZC, and he's also the Chair of the Advisory Board for AI Forum. And joining him in the studio, we have Mr. Robert Robertson. He's the new president of UCCI. We're talking about the event that's upcoming, AI Forum's annual conference, and it's the inaugural inaugural conference for the Cayman Islands. Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Still delivering island-wide for your convenience.
The Water Authority is going to conduct leak detection work in the Cayman Kai area from the 15th to the 18th of November between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. Customers may experience intermittent service interruption during these tests. These works will impact customers on the following roads: Sand Point Road, Sankola Close, Water Key Road from the Sand Point intersection, Finger Key Road, Camp Drive, and Kaibo Crescent. The Water Authority apologizes for any inconvenience these works may cause and thanks the public for their patience and understanding.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
As the community continues to take precautions from COVID-19, it is important to stay prepared for other disasters now that we're in the hurricane season. Here are some post-hurricane safety tips from the Department of Environmental Health. Some tinned food items may still be safe for consumption after contact with floodwater. However, tins must then be immersed in a solution made of 2 tablespoons of chlorine bleach per gallon of water for 10 minutes. Ensure that containers are air-dried before opening. For full guidance on post-hurricane safety tips, visit www.deh.gov.ky.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Business Buzz. We're in the final leg of the buzz for this Tuesday morning. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning on the outside, I'm sure. I can't see through a window, but I'm just assuming that it's beautiful on the outside. In the inside, we have in our studio, I'm joined by Mr. Ian Gilmore, Managing Director of Euler Digital SEZC, and he's also the chair of the advisory board for AI Forum, and Mr. Robert Robertson, president of UCCI. Now, we're looking at the event, AI Forum's annual conference here in the Cayman Islands. Now, government is on board. Our government is on board. And Ian, you're happy about that?
Yeah, I pitched government on this 3-4 months ago, and I think the stars just aligned. It's I think it's great timing, and it also leverages all of the things that I think government want to succeed with Cayman in terms of it's a new industry. It's really good for the economy. It's really good for citizens as well.
Okay. Now, the forum, the AI Forum, is this sort of an entity that you bought into? How does that work?
So we purchased the company in February, closed the transaction.
Of this year.
We were informed of the opportunity to buy the company in December last year, and we closed the transaction in February.
Okay, so who actually owns the forum?
So AI Forum is a wholly owned subsidiary of Euler Digital in
so
Cayman
you're the
Enterprise
boss.
City.
You're the boss.
Well, my shareholders are the boss. And my wife's the boss as well, actually. So I come a long way down.
Okay.
But I have some influence, yes.
Okay, very good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, Ian, my little knowledge is that, I've read this morning, so catch up before you walk through the studio door. The general benefit of artificial intelligence, or AI, is that it replicates the decisions and actions of humans without human shortcomings, such as fatigue, emotion, and limited time. Talk to me a little bit more about that.
So there's a really good question, because one of the weaknesses of AI is that we already are seeing biases. It was really interesting. I did a podcast a month ago with a gentleman called Keith Tran, and he was talking about a book he'd read where the actual one of the biases in human society was up in Sweden is that snowplow drivers, when they're clearing the streets in Sweden, which is one of the most egalitarian states on earth, doesn't take into account the school run for busy mums. And there's an inherent inbuilt bias in society. What we don't want to do is take all of those biases that exist today and put them into technology and reinforce all of these biases. And that's a really big challenge, because we already see that AI is starting to permeate into lots of important parts of the the economy and in our lives, and we don't want those biases to be reinforced. We need, at this stage, while we're still young, is to make sure that through good model governance and through some, basically getting the right people in the industry, that those biases are squeezed out.
I feel better already. No.
It's a fight, though. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Because these are black boxes. So if it is a technical skill. So being able to legislate against bias is something that I believe Cayman is really well positioned for.
Okay. Now, Bob, as president of UCCI, you have it all in your hands with regards to educating our public, our society, tertiary education, higher education. How do you feel about AI having the curriculum at the college? I'm not sure what you have established right now.
Well, the Cisco Academy is a great start, but frankly, we need to use it more and better, not only for our students, but also for incoming students so that they have more job opportunities. And again, you have to remember that you can work from the Cayman anywhere, basically, if you have those right skills. And so that's critically important. My vision, frankly, would be to ensure that everybody coming out of UCCEI has some, certificate from CompTIA or IBM or one of these leading companies. And the school I was at previously, I had to argue with some of the students who maybe were in cosmetology that it's got nothing to do with nails and hair. I don't want to learn anything about technology, but think about it. Customers, put their appointments in using their phone. They'll pay for you using their phone. So technology permeates almost everything. A few months ago, I was at a major construction project in Stanley Key, and I was surprised to see that everybody on the construction site had their tool belt, but they also had a device on their tool belt. So they could look on the device, and they would know that tomorrow at 10 a.m. a ship is coming in with 44 2x4s or whatever it was, I mean, so even people in a trade, plumbing, carpentry, they have to have some level of digital skills to be able to compete in today's world. And that's not like 5 years from now. That was 5 months ago in Stanley Key. And it was a major construction company out of Miami who said to me, they have to have those skills to work with this company. They just built a major Ritz-Carlton in Miami. And one of the things, you have to have the trade skill, obviously, but you also have to have some digital acumen. It's very important. And that's why I'm so excited about this forum. And, as we talked at the break, I'm really pleased that Ian has sort of what's next. So this is not a one-off forum, as I understand it. There'll be subsequent years of additional, kind of work focused on the Cayman Islands. So it's a very exciting opportunity for us here.
Ian, you're so excited. It's all over.
I'm just lucky Bob's here, right? Because I'm just going to sit back. No. I think it's vital that education in this country starts to embrace this. It is happening, and I can tell you that the education system in some of these big, sophisticated economies like India, United States, Europe, these guys are already on the. So we need to make sure that the next generation of employees in Cayman are equipped with these skills.
I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Now, we'll have 7 minutes, or let's say 6.5 minutes left, so we're not going to waste any time. But Ian, do you want to recap the forum's conference that's coming up?
Yeah. So
those who might have missed it.
Sure. So we've got. So the session starts with the Minister. Andre Banks will be talking about the Cayman government's vision for artificial intelligence. I think he's got some other announcements potentially, and then we go into a panel. So we've got Aditi Joshi. She's going to be moderating along with your very own Vaughan Carter, who's your human rights attorney. You've got Julian Morris, and then we've got John Chisholm, and then we go into a number of other sessions. We've got, as I said earlier, I forgot about Morgan Stanley coming. So we've got Supreet Kaur, I'll get her first, coming in from Morgan Stanley, talking about the role of AI in financial services. We've got Dr. Terry Horton. She's talking about the future workforce, the workforce of the future. Sorry. We've got 2 amazing speakers from Nous Consulting, who's a big international consulting firm, Julie Mercer and Darren, talking about how AI is going to permeate into the role of education. And then we've got Utpal Mangla from IBM talking about 5G and edge networks and how they're going to disrupt the global industries. And then the afternoon is given over to healthcare. So we've got Dr. Matthew Crowson flying in from Harvard Medical School. We've got Jude Francis from Johnson & Johnson. And I've got my very own colleague, Matt Jones, who I used to work with at PwC, who headed up healthcare in the region, in the Middle East. He's going to be coming over to talk about the role of AI in supply chains for healthcare. And then we finish off with we're going to finish off with Rasmus Hegvist, who's a TikTok influencer. He's also at UCL in London, and he'll be talking about how Gen Z and Gen A can get involved in AI.
Just from the point of view of students, we're setting up a special session, hopefully on the Wednesday, I think, at UCCI, so that more students can get involved. And so I think that's pretty important as well. And I think, you need to introduce that level of, engagement with students. So perhaps next year they'll be moving forward into maybe a job in this field, basically.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Now, let's talk about, before we let you go, what do you want to recap this morning, Ian?
Sorry?
What do you want to recap? What do you want to leave our listeners with?
So the big takeaway from this is this event is for everybody. There's no required skill to attend. The opportunity is for everybody to start learning about this new industry from day one. We're trying to make it as easy to attend as possible. We are looking at, hopefully, I'll be announcing a sponsor for student and high school and university and faculty participation. And at the end of the event, we want to make sure that everybody is aware of the ambition within the Cayman Islands from the government, educators, and industry about the future of this industry from these shores. And then, as Bob intimated, this is the beginning of a journey, so it will get bigger and bigger each year.
Bob, would you like to leave with our listeners this morning?
Well, I think from our point of view at UCCI, we do have the pieces of the puzzle to be able to add to this discussion. So we have a good pedigree in terms of the institution. We have good faculty who are certified and qualified in terms of technology with CompTIA and other qualifications. We want to ramp those up. So I think we can add quite a bit. I think the key thing, as Ian has said, though, is we really need to think about a pipeline, right? So we talked about sort of dual enrollment opportunities for high school students to pick up these credentials earlier. I'm familiar with an initiative that we did in the Caribbean where we had high school students taking, these qualifications, and they had transfer credits to big schools in the U.S. like Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech, and it's brilliant for these kids to get that level of training, and many of them are coming back with the skills they need to help their own country, and that's the kind of vision I think we need to promote in the Cayman, because it's about options, and students need to see that these options will pay off.
Well, one other thing as well about students is you don't have to program to be in AI, because a lot of the new interfaces are what's called low code and no code UI. So you will actually be able to use this technology using your skills without being able to program.
Low code and...
They're called low code and no code UIs. Right. So it's basically click and drag.
Yeah. Okay, click and drag.
The technology changes almost daily, and so that's the other part about it. It's not like in the past, maybe you get your degree in 1970 or something like that, and you never go back and learn anything else. It's constantly about upskilling and being prepared for the kind of changes that we face daily. I mean, it's like even self-checkout at a grocery store. I mean, who would have thought of that 4 or 5 years ago, right? But it's here, right? So
which I fail every time.
Yeah, me too. Yes, the old guys are having problems with it, but the young people, it'll be a good job opportunity for them to make sure that technology works.
Even if you go, this is a free plug for A.L. Thompson, the sales people in the store, they have their phone, and if they scan the prices and all that, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of those people are not, they haven't gone to university or whatever, but they've learned to use how to scan using their device.
Yeah.
This is quite an interesting conversation. I can go on all morning. I don't have any questions left in front of me. Run out of questions a long time ago. But this has been very, very informative for me. Ian, I want to say congratulations on the purchase of AI Forum.
Thank
you. We wish you well as you continue to bring this to the Cayman Islands. We are proud to be a part of this.
Thank you.
And I know this will be on for a very long time. Bob, congratulations on your new position at UCCI as their president, and we look forward to great things from you. And
no pressure.
No pressure here. No pressure at all. I want to say thank you so much. You've been listening to the Business Buzz on this Taco Tuesday. I want to say thanks to our guest in the studio, Mr. Ian Gilmore, Managing Director of Oil and Digital SEZC and the chair of the advisory board for AI Forum as well, and Mr. Robertson, fondly known as Bob, president of UCCI. Thanks to our sponsors this morning, Cayman Insurance Center, Cayman Medical Supplies, and 345 Equipment Services. Thanks to our first guest on the first segment this morning, Ms. Kamisha Clark, and of course the winner of Taco Tuesday, Miss Charlene. Until Thursday, we see you again for another Business Buzz. Anita saying thank you, stay safe, and goodbye.
The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies. Call them at 949-6211. And Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And 345 Equipment, quality machinery, parts, and repair services for all of your construction equipment needs. Call 525-0021 or email info@345equipment.ca.